The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros. How do you rank the champions at 140 pounds after Haney's defeat? So now that Ryan Garcia has dominated Devin Haney, but Ryan didn't make weight, Devin gets to keep the WBC belt. Mauricio Suleiman made that clear. Yes, he made it clear in the tweet.
Yeah,
Um, no,
that belt should be vacant.
it should be. Actually, while you go, I'm going to pull up the tweet and I'll show it just so people can
Yeah.
see. Normally, it would be vacant, but Mauricio Suleiman has come out and said that Devin's going to keep his belt. So while you tell us who you have your order at 140 now, I'll pull that tweet up and I'll show it after.
Listen, my list at 140. Man. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go Tio for now. Then I'm gonna go Sergio Martinez. Then I'm gonna go Pitbull Cruz, and then I'm gonna go Devin. He can't. Listen, Tio can pop, and he's athletic. He's taking Ryan out. He's taking Devin out of there. Sergio Martinez can punch. He's coming forward and he's willing to take just to land that one, and he's gonna take Devin out. We already know with the energy Pitbull Cruz is going to. Pitbull Cruz is a different type of animal. This guy was living in a 1-bedroom, shack with his family, with his wife. He was fighting for something totally different. Now he's getting a little taste of some money. Oh, he is not going back to have to go out there and go to the outhouse. He's not going back to that. He comes from the mud. Mm-hmm. He comes from the mud. He's running through anything. You know what I'm saying? So no, I don't think Devin can keep him off of him either. You know what I'm saying? Wow. It's a wrap now. Devin has been exposed. Bill Haney has been exposed. Bill Haney showed to me that he wasn't even hugging and consoling his son like he should have been. To me, that showed a lot to me about Bill Haney and his son. Like he was saying, like Devin used to say he used to have issues with his father. Like, you only talk to me about boxing. You only want to talk to me about boxing. He was like, that's when it showed. Because to me, Bill didn't do with I'm a different type of person. You know what I'm saying? But that's what makes me trill. See that instant right there when you let your son go out there without your arm around him. Let him do his hamdulillahs by himself. Allah's the perfect plan, all that. That shit was all staged, and you didn't have your arm around him.
Nah, that's real. That's true. Like,
bro, I'm just, me.
If Devin won, he probably would have been right there yelling, "Best in the world, best in the world." Yeah.
That was your 10 right there to be the dad that your son needed. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being in this clown, you put yourself in. You wanted to be a star. You didn't want to. It was not good enough for your son to be a star. You wanted to be the star. You wanted to put out your fun videos and do all that, your Don King impersonations and all that. You heard Devin. And then a chance where you could have been a dad. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody could be a father. But when you had the opportunity to be a dad and put your arm around him when he lost, you left him by himself. You let him do that interview by himself.
Yeah, Devin walked to the car by himself too. Now that I think about it, from the video I saw, he walked with like a bunch of bodyguards, and he was by himself. And then Bill came walking by himself, and he gave an interview to Seconds Out, and then he got in the car.
After that, I would have been nothing but hugging and kissing my baby. I don't care about nothing. I don't care about none of that. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? I can't. My baby far away. My son far away. As soon as I see him, as soon as he get off the plane, I'm hugging and I'm kissing my son, my warrior son. You couldn't do that. No matter if it was defeat. That was the perfect opportunity for you to snatch your son up and hug him and give him a kiss. Oscar's dad did it for him when he lost to Tito.
Yeah, that's when he pulled out "You're a great fighter." Oscar said his dad never told him he was a
Never.
great fighter until he lost to
Who
Tio.
lost? Who lost? That's just us being boxing historians. You know? But yeah, man, that's how I feel. I had to get that off my chest. Because you sent him out there, you put that battery in his back, and then when he lost, you just left him out to dry. I didn't think that was cool.
I mean, that's a good observation. I mean, I didn't really pay attention to it, but yeah, it was kind of like, Devin did kind of make that walk by himself, but he doesn't hype the fights up by himself.
Nah.
Yeah. So just to be clear, you rated Tio number 1, Subriel number 2, Pitbull number 3, and Devin number 4.
Mm-hmm.
So you dropped Devin to last among the champions.
He was number 1, but he just showed that, you know what I'm saying? When listen, he can't be in there with no puncher. He can't be in there with no puncher. And I don't even know why we forgot. We forgot about the Linares joint. When Linares rocked him and then
the bell saved him.
He walked him to his corner. And this is Linares. He is not known for being no puncher. Linares went against punches and lost. People forgot they was hyping up Linares back in the days. You forget Linares gets more respect than Adrian Broner, which is crazy because when Linares got beat by Antonio DeMarco, right? And then everybody say Antonio DeMarco was the man, and then we seen what Broner did to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that was Broner before the beating with Medina. That took a lot out of Broner. That's what we talk about, like being timid after. That's why I thought your comparison to Devin Haney going out like Broner, because I feel like he might come in and start being timid like Broner ever since that fight, being shell shocked. Like, but I want to touch on a good point that you made, and I got to catch it again. And excuse me, because I'm going off like 2 hours of sleep right now. But you were bringing up, like you were talking about like DeMarco and these guys. Like, what was the point were you making?
I was saying about, he had no, he showed us that he had no chin. You know what I'm saying? I remember when Linares has never been that puncher guy, but you know what I'm saying? He was able to.
Oh yeah, that's the Linares. So yeah, Linares, he was saved by the bell with Linares, right? And Linares is like, okay, go to the corner and all that stuff. But Vasily Lomachenko, he did Linares good. He gave Linares that work. But it was after the fight with Linares, Devin Haney went up to Linares and was like, "How's my power? How is it compared to Lomachenko?" And I remember Linares like, "You have a good jab."
Yeah, like, you
got a good jab. Like I remember saying that. It was just he just reminded me of that when he was bringing up Linares.
He didn't want to bring up no power.
Linares was being nice. He didn't want to, to say to Devin like, "Listen,
you can't crack an egg, brother."
Linares, hey, don't put me in this position. All right, so this is a tweet from Michael Benson. He said WBC President Mauricio Suleiman has reiterated their rules that Devin Haney is still the WBC Super Lightweight World Champion, as is always the case when the challenger misses weight. So, yeah, bro, normally it should be vacant. But in this case, Mauricio Dollars, he said, nah, Devin still got that belt. So once again, another thing that goes in Devin Haney's favor. But so I'll rank him real quick. For me, number 1 has to be Teofimo Lopez. I feel like he moved up from 135 and he beat the guy. So he beat the man who, the same reason and the same logic that I give to Tyson Fury at the heavyweight division. He's the one who dethroned Klitschko. He came back and he never lost in the ring. So I still see him as number 1 until Usyk dethrones him. Now we have Teofimo Lopez, who beat Vasily Lomachenko when Vasily had all the belts. Unfortunately, Tio had a dumb strategy against Kambosos as well, similar to like Devin fighting Ryan, and he lost that fight. And to me, Tio he's been questionable ever since that fight with Kambosos. You never know which T.O. you're gonna get, but T.O. Yep. But T.O. shows up in the big fights, and against Josh Taylor, he looked amazing. And Josh Taylor was undisputed at 140, although there is questionable victory over Jack Catterall, right? Still, you got to give it to Taylor because I think Jack Catterall gave away the last 4 rounds of their fight, which is never a smart thing to do when you're the B side. But anyways, T.O. beats the man who was considered the man, Josh Taylor. So to me, T.O. earns number 1 in 140 division. Number 2, I have Subriel Martinez because I think he's the most dangerous fighter in the division. Like I said, I'm not labeling Subriel Martinez as the boogeyman. I'm just saying he's the guy everyone knows. You're going to have to go through hell to beat him, and people aren't trying to go through that hell. Just ask Richardson Hitchens. So I got Subriel at number 2. At number 3, I got Devin. And the reason why I have Devin at number 3 is because he beat Regis Prograis at 140. He's former undisputed at 135. Although he is chinny, and I'm with you, Trill. Pitbull might give him that work, but just based on his resume, I got him at number 3. And at number 4, I got Pitbull, but Pitbull beat Rolly, and we all know Rolly isn't. He's no boxing, savant. He's no extremely skilled fighter. Although, you look at Pitbull's size and what he was able to accomplish in the fight with Rolly, and he gave Tank a hell of a fight. You cannot count out Pitbull Cruz, and it wouldn't surprise me if Pitbull Cruz finished Devin the Dream Haney, but just going off a resume and doing it the way that, I'll place Pitbull Cruz at 4, although I think all 3 of those guys might knock Devin the Dream Haney the hell out if he stepped in the ring with them because his chin is suspect, as I've been trying to tell all his fanboys, all his newfound fanboys who don't buy his fight, who fire stick his fight, and we're going to check these pay-per-view numbers later, so that's how I rank him.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. You're rocking with the Boxing Bros.